time, but I will always fucking turn up every single time.
Why'd you say Connor then?
Because if something, there has been several times when we've all agreed to do something, whether it be, you know, maybe it be a filming day or maybe it be an activity that we need to do before like a recording. And Connor's like, oh, I just completely forgot. Because if it's not specifically on Connor's calendar, it will just not exist in his mind.
Right.
And
that is true. But I do show up to things on time. So.
That is true.
I still think that you're more likely to forget.
I think, yeah.
I wouldn't say I forget.
Actually, I can remember some mornings where I would wake up, right? And I think to myself, wait, we didn't discuss. I mean, it says on my calendar that we have Trash Taste today, but I should just double check because sometimes we change days around.
Yeah.
There have been several occasions, not just one, several occasions where I've texted the group being like, hey, we're going into the office today, right? Yeah. And I double check. And Gant replied back like at 10:30, like 30 minutes before we're supposed to show up, and be like, oh fuck, I just woke up. I didn't realize that we have it today. What the fuck?
But I still show up. I still show up.
And like during Gant time. because when Gant says, okay, I'm leaving the house now, that's not Gant leaving the house. That means he's getting ready to leave the house.
Gant is always the latest.
He is always the latest.
All right, moving on.
What are some of these questions?
Why are people so obsessed with who's dying?
Yeah, right?
We got like 3 people now who's asked us if we're going to die.
Who is most likely to snitch among the 3 of you?
Oh, that's a good one.
Snitch?
I trust you boys. These boys would never snitch.
Snitching is...
But...
Snitches get stitches.
Yeah.
I know that, but obviously it depends what kind of circumstance. Because there is a 100% chance I would snitch and give... If it's like, hey, you get a plea deal if you can't kill someone and you tell people. And you're like, all right, I'm snitching.
Snitch is a strong word.
Yeah.
Snitch. It's hard because I don't think any of us think the other ones will snitch. It's probably the reason why Trash Taste lasts so long. Yeah. Who's most likely to snitch?
If we ever did a crime collectively, I feel like we'd be pretty good at getting our stories lined up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there is a reasoning behind anything. Yeah. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna put down an answer, I guess.
All right, I'll put down an answer.
Okay. All right.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Same brain cell.
I didn't want to put one of you boys down. I felt bad.
I was the same way. Meanwhile, this one, he's the real snitch.
A real snitch.
He's a real snitch.
I'm Joey. A real snitch.
I believed in you.
I exposed myself.
That was the test. Me and Joey wouldn't snitch.
That was the test.
Okay, now you got to say why you put down Joey.
Yeah, why'd you put me down?
I feel like none of us would snitch intentionally. I feel like the only reason I put Joey down is because Joey's just so fucking chill and friendly that you just get into. Sometimes you just like he'd be in interrogation and you just like sit him down and just pretend to be friends with him, and he'd be like, "Yeah, Connor did this. You know, we had a fucking great time." You know,
you would accidentally.
Yeah. I would accidentally expose.
It's the accidental snitch.
Yeah,
you know?
that's true. All right, I'll give you that. You still failed the test. Yeah. God damn it. All right, let's see.
All right,
who is most likely to make the others laugh unintentionally? That's a good one.
Who's most likely to make the others laugh unintentionally? Ooh.
I don't know about this one.
Yeah.
Unintentionally, I feel.
Unintentionally is such an interesting choice of words. Why unintentionally?
Well, maybe they said something that wasn't supposed to be taken as funny, but the way maybe they phrased it, or because of that person, you find it funny.
All right, I'm gonna put down an answer.
All right.
Okay.
Ready?
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. I think we all agree, right?
Sometimes I just do weird shit.
You say some of the most like off-kilter shit I've ever heard.
You know, it's so like part of me has been exposed by just going on Trash Taste, because you look at like my main channel videos where I have time to think about what I say, and I'm like, you know, sometimes I can sound eloquent, sometimes I can sound like I have my thoughts in order. And like I'm on Trash Taste and I can't even drink water correctly. It's definitely made me realize how many small things that I didn't realize I did weirdly off camera without having a camera pointed at me.
If you were a rapper, like you'd be one of those rappers who like make amazing like album material because you have time to think about it. But if I asked you to freestyle, it would just be some of the weirdest shit ever. It's like, oh, this guy sounds a lot different.
All right. Joseph Lopez asks, who's most likely to ask for advice but never take it?
Ask for advice but never take it.
Let me think about this. Has any of the boys ever asked for advice?
Not really.
I'm trying to think now.
I think so.
I mean, I think we've all asked for advice in some way or the other, but
yeah,
I don't know. Depends on the gravity of the advice, I guess. Like it could just be like something like really nonchalant where it doesn't really matter. But
yeah.
All right, I got my answer. All right, ready?
Okay, I'm just gonna put down an answer.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Oh,
really?
What'd you put?
I put me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Why'd you put yourself, Joey?
We both put ourselves.
Yeah.
We both put ourselves for a lot of this.
Because, well, I mean, for one, I don't really ask for advice, but when I do, I don't really listen.
Joey, what the fuck?
I don't.
Why are you asking for advice?
I just want your thoughts on it, but I've already made up my mind. You know what I mean?
Oh,
okay,
you're
so
one
you
of
weren't looking
those
for advice,
people.
you were
Yeah.
looking for
I'm looking for
affirmation.
Affirmation.
Yeah, I'm one of
Yeah.
those people. Like I'm
I'm one of those.
I'm one of
Say
those
it's a
people.
Dirty Connor. I'm one of those.
I'm one of those people where I'm like, I already know what I want to do because I'm very, usually because like I'm one of those people that is very rarely deterred by what someone thinks about a certain situation, right? Because like if I'm going into something, I know in my head I'm like, okay, I think I know what to do. Like this might be a good idea, but I just want to get a second opinion, just to gauge the vibe. I'm not going to you to be like, hey, can you solve my issue for me? I'm kind of more like, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah.
And if it's different to mine, then I'll be like, whatever. But if it's the same as mine, then I'm like, oh, okay, I know that my answer was correct.
That's fair. I feel like I've asked Garnt for advice sometimes, then just not taking it.
Well, what have you asked?
I don't know. I feel like Garnt gives great advice, so I often come to Garnt.
He does give great advice.
Garnt is a great advice giver.
He is. Is that in a month? Yeah.
But then sometimes I'm like, man, my gut's pretty good though too. I feel like I got a good read on stuff sometimes.
No, I mean, the only reason I put Connor is because I know Connor's asked me for advice. I know it's a kind of like a 50-50 percentage on whether he's going to take their advice or not. And to me, like, I never put it as, I think Connor judges better than me. Most of the time, I just think Connor's just too lazy to enact the advice.
But also, I think that sometimes, even if you're about to make a big decision, and there's like maybe downsides to both sides of whatever decision. Sometimes it's just nice to get to hear the other side of the thing that you've kind of didn't consider as much, just so you can feel like, okay, I'm more aware of what potentially could happen.
Yeah.
Even though you've made up your mind. It's more like, hey, what do you think could happen? Or hey, stuff like that. I can't think of an example off the top of my head.
Do you think when people ask for advice, most people have already made up their minds?
I don't think so. I think people always lean towards doing something, but I genuinely think a lot of the times when I've asked for advice, it is genuinely because I just don't know what to do.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that it's a cynical way of looking at it if you're assuming that no one's ever going to actually listen. But I think people most of the time do.
Yeah.
Especially because I think asking for advice can sometimes be a vulnerable thing to do.
Yeah.
You have to come to someone and be like, hey, I really am kind of struggling with this. What do I do here?
Yeah.
Or it could be, hey, should I go bald or not? Would it look cool? And the answer is probably no.
Was that what you asked, God?